Hey there, it's Monday, April 13th, and I'm so glad you have joined me for another daily encouragement from God's Word. It being Monday, it is now the day after Easter, and probably, if you're anything like me, you've been looking forward to Easter for some time. In my family, it's a big holiday that we look forward to. In church, it's always something that is being planned for well in advance, and so it's one of those benchmarks that you're kind of planning, looking forward to, and then it's over. And maybe you've had that feeling of, well, what's next? Like, what do we do after Easter? What's the next thing to look forward to? I think there's a sense in which we kind of ask that question a lot, maybe even not just with the calendar, but kind of in life. I think even going all the way back to the first Easter, if we look in the Gospel of John, we see that the disciples, even after they realized Jesus had risen from the dead, they go to the upper room and they're kind of wondering what's next. They're just there until Jesus appears, remember, and he tells them that he wants peace to be with them. But then he says, as my Father sent me, I'm going to send you. And so after that first Easter, he gives them a mission to do, something that they need to accomplish. And I think Peter kept that in mind, and I think he kind of had that thought in the back of his mind when he was writing his epistle. It sounds kind of familiar if you look at 1 Peter 1, verse 13. Remember the whole opening chapter of 1 Peter, he's been talking about the great salvation we have, how wonderful it is. And now verse 13, he begins, therefore, right? It's that idea of what's next. So because of the salvation you have, prepare your minds for action, keep sober in spirit, fix your hope completely on the grace to be brought to you at the revelation of Jesus Christ. I frequently mention that as wonderful as salvation is, it's really God's intended starting point for you and I. It's not the ending point that he has in mind. If we think of this life as a race, salvation's really the starting line. It's not the finish line. And so as Peter is saying, we have this wonderful salvation, therefore there's something that you ought to do because of that. And what he's talking about is really going all the way down to verse 16. He's really talking about holiness. God's intention for you, his answer to what's next for me as a believer. What's the next thing that I should be trying to do? It's I should be trying to live a holy life. And he gives us some clues as to how to do that. So because of my salvation, I should aim for holiness. And to do that, I have to prepare my mind. And I think so much in life is determined by how we think. It's very important today if you're feeling spiritually stagnant, then that change needs to happen, needs to take place in your mind. You have to decide that you are going to behave differently. If you're feeling stuck in life, if you're feeling discouraged, if you're feeling down, if you're kind of in that after Easter blues, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to look forward to. Peter says, prepare your mind. As you're going to pursue living life in a holy manner, the first thing you have to do is you have to set your mind. You have to make a decision to do the right thing. Make a decision that you are going to move forward toward holiness. And so today, as you consider what's next for you after Easter, or maybe as you consider what's next in life in general, maybe you're thinking about what's going to be next after quarantine and lockdown is over. Maybe you're thinking, what's next for me spiritually? What do I need to do? What do I need to accomplish? I would encourage you that it begins in your mind. The answer to what's next begins with setting your mind, making a decision to do the thing that you know to be right, acting in accordance with God's word, acting in pursuit of God's ultimate goal for you, which is holiness. So I hope that today, wherever you are, whatever the what next question is in your life, that you will prepare your mind for action today.